Hey guys, Natasha Tessier here again with Dwell Realty and Design. Welcome to my channel. I just got home from a closing. Another California buyer moving to Texas. They're super excited. We got them an awesome house on an acre and a half, $760,000 in Magnolia. Really cute house. It was actually completely remodeled, and it was in Lake Windcrest, which is a really cool neighborhood. It has a lake in the back and all this stuff. So anyway, today, thank you for tuning in. I want to talk to you about the 3 reasons not to move to Texas. Hi there, I'm Natasha Tessier. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button below. Anything and everything to do with the city of Houston. And like I said, I just got back from a closing from a California client. It's basically what we're doing a lot of is out of state and relocating people here. I'm gonna tell you reasons not to move here, and then I thought it might be an interesting topic for people. Okay, so number 1 is going to be, politics. I'm gonna tell you, I don't talk about politics, but I have a lot of realtor friends all over the nation, and we mastermind and we Zoom, and if COVID bothers you, or if it makes you mad when people are not wearing masks, if you want people like vaccinated, I will tell you that where we live, nobody talks about COVID anymore. Nobody asks if people are vaccinated or unvaccinated. Everybody feels like that's a very personal decision. Not everybody, I shouldn't talk in most people think it's a very personal decision and don't ask about it. Our school district, which is Montgomery ISD, has come out and basically said to us, if you want to get your kids vaccinated, get them vaccinated. If you don't. Teachers, employees, they're not here to ask us that. So the number 1 thing I would say not to move here is if that's not your philosophy, then that it might bother you to move to Texas, because we really don't talk about COVID anymore here very much. I don't own a mask anymore. I will have one if I go on an airplane, but it's really not, discussed. We are playing sports. We've been going to school for a whole year. Well, we never really stopped going to school, but no masks this whole school year. We go to volleyball gyms and football stadiums, and in Texas in general, and I'm speaking in generalizations, I'm sure there are parts that are different, but in general, we don't talk about it anymore. If somebody's sick, we're cautious, we stay home, but that's kind of the whole political COVID thing right now, and that's the take that most of Texas has taken on it. So if that, again, bothers you, I wouldn't come. Okay, number 2, I'm gonna say the weather. So right now it is absolutely gorgeous out. It has been all week. It's actually gonna be really cold tomorrow. Well, cold for us. It's high of 40, I think low of 28. That's our winter right now. It's January. So the weather, but it does get hot. And I tell people this all the time. In the summers, July and August. Now I have people from Fresno, California that have moved here, and they've told me it's not as bad as Fresno. I don't know. I know it's humid and it's hot in the summers. You will feel the humidity kind of come through here. So when a storm comes, it kind of gets humid and it rains, and then it cools off and dries out. There are many times that it's 30% humidity, or 50%, or 99%. or 100%. So anyway, in the summers, I've said this before, we have a membership to one of the Conroe boating clubs that I can show you, and we live in the water there. So when it's a hot day, our kids are surfing or water skiing, or we're taking a pontoon boat out, or we go down to Galveston, or we go down to Port Aransas and we get on the fishing boat. Almost all the neighborhoods have pools, or people themselves have pools. So if that's, but it is hot. So if you don't like hot weather, don't come to Texas. Because it's definitely hot compared to up north. I like it because I can walk every day. Very rarely can I not, but some people do not. Okay, so for my 3rd reason, I'm gonna talk about property taxes. Now, I did an entire video on property tax versus income tax in the state of California versus Texas. We do not have a state income tax, but we do have higher property tax. So it can range anywhere. The lowest I've seen is about 1.7. and the highest I've seen is 3.7. So all this is gonna be based on how much you're spending on the house. If you're spending $1 million on the house, then you're talking $17,000 a year in taxes versus $37,000 a year if you're in that high tax bracket. So if the property taxes, now we do have exemptions. So let me go back. So we have a homestead exemption that's gonna bring the rate down. And what that is if that's your primary, then your taxes will not be as high. We have an over 65 exemption. We have a VA exemption. So there are exemptions that play into that, but most of the time when I run the numbers for people, it balances out, but not always. So please be careful when you're looking at your property tax. If you kind of do an older area with land out in Montgomery, that's where you're gonna get lower. Grand Lake Estates, I think is 1.8. Crown Oaks is 1.8, that's where we're building. Wood Forest is 2.8, that's very low for a newer community. Some of the newer communities are 3.2 or 3.3. Now again, if it's $300,000 house, and the difference in 1% is $3,000 over the year, that's a much less difference. So it just kind of depends on how much you're spending on the house and what that rate is. I'm happy, I can run a search for you with a certain rate or below. Just know that a lot of the newer homes are a little bit higher. Now the Woodlands has a great tax rate for the most part. It's 2.2 to 2.4 in most of their neighborhoods, and that includes their HOA. So if those extra fees bother you, you may want to look at the Woodlands. You have all your amenities and everything. Older homes though, again. So anyway, okay, so that's number 3. So the fourth thing, I said 3, but I'm going to tell you 4, is Texas is a very friendly state. So let me give you an example. I lived here pretty much my whole life. We had to move for my husband's work and I came back, and people are very friendly. They're always, how was this and how was your weekend? And my daughter ended up falling and breaking her elbow. We just moved here, I don't know, maybe like 6 months before. I didn't know a ton of people. And I mean, I had chicken soup at my door. I had goodie bags. I had teddy bears. I had people coming to the hospital, like people I didn't know that well. They were showering her and me with gifts. When I just moved a California family in a couple months ago out into Montgomery, the very first day, we're doing the final walkthrough, and the neighbors are coming up, introducing themselves. Hey, mine's the hangout house. Like, we'd love to see you. They're bringing them cookies. Like, people here, you go to the grocery store and, the lady or man checking you out is going to be extremely friendly and strike up conversation with you and tell you to probably have a blessed day like I do. So anyway, that kind of freaked some of my California people out because they're not used to people being so friendly. So if that bothers you, then I would definitely, I don't know, it just is an overly friendly place. A lot of people ask me if it's not that diverse. I had a lady yesterday ask me, well, I'm Hispanic. I don't see any of that. I'm sure it's out there. Again, I'm not gonna talk politics and all that stuff, but it's a very welcoming community. Now, that being said, if you're moving to Montgomery County, there are Trump signs everywhere out in Montgomery, the city. There are, let's go Brandon signs. I mean, I don't want people to be shocked when they come here. I had somebody else call me the other day off my YouTube and tell me that, they were liberal and they didn't mind the policies in California, but they couldn't afford anything. And so they didn't want, and I honestly, I would not probably move out to Montgomery because they didn't go to church. Everybody goes to church. So I just try to be upfront with you guys because I know a lot of people watch my channel, and I don't want somebody to move here and then, feel like it's not a good fit for the people around them. She was also asking for safety and, the difference in Harris County, I've been over this on a video, and Montgomery County, and the way that the district attorneys run the county and the consequences on the criminals is quite different. So do your homework, hire a realtor like me or somebody else who's gonna be, honest with you on the different areas. They're run really differently. So anyway, kind of an intense topic, but an important one. I do want people to know that, COVID is kind of non-existent. Of course, we have lost people and people have gotten sick, and, we are praying for health and praying for healing. It's none of that. It's not taking over our world. And then the weather, of course, the friendliness of people, and the property tax. All that is important information where maybe you don't want to move here if those things don't line up with what you're trying to get your family to. If they do line up, then, reach out to me. You know how to get a hold of me. My cell phone's below. You can call me, you can text me, you can Houston Realtor Natasha on Instagram, Natasha Tessier on Facebook. Any way you want to get a hold of me, feel free. If I don't respond, it's probably because I didn't get it, because I'm pretty responsive. So anyway, I hope this helps, and I hope you have a blessed day.